I still hear your voice at night. Make me feel alright. Jump right back into my heart. Cause we could dance the night away. Make me love you through the haze. Ain't no need to be afraid.
Hey, have you heard about the Hat Man? You wake up, you can move, you're fully awake, at least you think you are. The room is quiet, the darkness feels heavier than usual. Then you notice someone standing in the corner. He's unusually tall, wearing a long black coat and a wide-brimmed hat. His face is hidden in shadow. You can't see his eyes, but somehow you know he's looking at you. He doesn't move, he doesn't speak, he just watches. Every instinct tells you to run, but you can't. Seconds stretch like hours. Then, he's gone. No footsteps, no sound, nothing.
Yeah, I have. It's one of those stories that immediately crawls under your skin. What gets me is how many people across countries and cultures report almost the exact same figure. Tall, black clothes, a hat, standing silently. They call him the Hat Man. Some claim demons, others ghosts, even death. But why such a consistent image? Is it supernatural, or is there a brain-based explanation?
Good question. The first clue is timing. A huge number of Hat Man encounters happen exactly when the brain is switching between sleep and wakefulness, right after waking up or just before falling asleep. Those moments are the domain of sleep paralysis and hypnagogic or hypnopompic hallucinations, experiences where elements of dreaming intrude into waking consciousness.
Right. During REM sleep, your brain is active and vivid images occur, but your body is paralyzed. REM atonia prevents you from acting out dreams. Sometimes the brain gets stuck halfway. You're conscious enough to perceive your room, but parts of your dreaming brain are still online, projecting images and feelings. That mismatch can produce a vivid sense of a presence in the room, pressure on the chest, even sensations of being watched.
And that presence often feels hostile or terrifying because the amygdala, our fear center, is highly active during REM, so your brain hands you a figure to focus that fear on. But why a man? Why a hat? Why that silhouette over and over?
There are a few overlapping reasons. First, humans are wired to detect agency. Faces, eyes, bodies, even in low detail. Minimal cues can be enough to create the sense somebody's there. A tall, dark shape in the corner becomes a person in an instant. Second, the brain simplifies complex, ambiguous sensory data into familiar patterns. A wide-brimmed hat creates a distinct, easily recognized silhouette. It makes a shape feel human and threatening without needing detail.
So pareidolia, seeing meaningful patterns where none exist, plays a role. Add cultural templates too. A hat and a coat are common symbols associated with strangers, outsiders, or ominous figures in art and media. Those templates can prime you. But what about reports from before movies and the internet? People were seeing similar beings decades ago.
That's an important point. The fundamental mechanisms, REM intrusion, sensed presence, fear circuitry, have always been part of human neurobiology. Different cultures have their own shadow people archetypes. The old hag, jinn, visitations. The Hat Man is a modern iteration shaped by common visual shorthand. With the internet, stories spread faster and can converge, but the underlying experience predates social media.
There's also research linking sensed presence to specific brain areas. Stimulating the temporal parietal junction, for example, can make people feel another person is nearby when there isn't. That supports the idea that the brain constructs a separate agent under certain conditions. Combine that with amygdala-driven fear, and you get a vivid, terrifying figure.
And once someone experiences the Hat Man, memory and suggestion can make future episodes more likely to take that shape. Memory isn't a perfect recording, it's reconstructive. If you remember a shadowy man the first time, your brain may default to that template next time you wake into sleep paralysis. Plus, anxiety and sleep disruption increase the frequency of these events.
So, the Hat Man could be, in many cases, less a visitor from another realm and more a participant in a very human neurocognitive glitch, one that uses cultural symbols and simple silhouettes to represent threat. But that doesn't make the experience any less real or frightening for the person who lived it.
Absolutely. The terror is authentic. Whether it's a demon or a dream brain, the fear feels real. And that's where compassion matters. Helping people understand the physiology reduces stigma and panic. Simple steps like improving sleep, managing stress, and knowing what sleep paralysis is can drastically reduce recurrence.
So next time you wake and feel that heaviness in the dark, remember, every instinct may scream run, but your brain might just be projecting a template of threat. Maybe the Hat Man wasn't hiding in your bedroom. Maybe he was hiding inside your mind.
Thanks for diving into that with me. If this sparked your curiosity, check your sleep habits and maybe read up on sleep paralysis. And if you've had an encounter, you're not alone. Millions have told similar stories. We'll be back with more mysteries that blur the line between story and neuroscience.
Outro music. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll be back with more engaging content soon. So, why a man? Why not a monster, or an animal, or something completely random? Great opening. It's weird, right?
The figure people describe, a tall, shadowy man, often wearing a dark coat and a wide-brimmed hat, shows up in stories from all over. So why that shape?
Part of the answer may lie in the way your brain sees the world. Your brain doesn't like uncertainty, especially in the dark. When there's not enough information, it starts filling in the blanks.
Exactly. A jacket hanging on a chair becomes a person. A shadow becomes a face. A coat rack becomes someone standing perfectly still. This tendency even has a name, pareidolia, the brain searching for familiar patterns, even when they're not really there.
But add sleep into the mix and things get weirder. During those moments between sleep and waking, the fear centers of the brain can become highly active while the logical parts are still waking up.
So when your brain detects an unclear shape, it asks one simple question: friend or threat? Evolution has trained it to assume the worst. Thousands of years ago, mistaking a shadow for a predator was safer than the other way around.
That's why the figure often appears as a tall human silhouette. Our brains are experts at recognizing human shapes, even with almost no information. A stick on two legs becomes a person within a heartbeat.
What about the hat, though? Why the wide brim and the coat? That's less clear. Some psychologists think once a particular image started appearing in stories, movies, and online discussions, it became a ready-made template.
So when someone experiences sleep paralysis or vivid hypnopompic hallucinations, their mind fills in the missing details with that familiar image: a tall man, a dark coat, a wide-brimmed hat, silent, watching.
Whether that's the whole explanation, we can't say for certain, but one thing is undeniable. The experience feels terrifyingly real. The fear, the racing heartbeat, the feeling that someone is standing just a few feet away. Those emotions are absolutely real.
And for the person living through them, the Hat Man feels as real as anyone else. Today, scientists explain many of these encounters with sleep paralysis, hypnopompic hallucinations, and pareidolia. The brain's instinct to recognize human shapes kicks in at the worst possible moment.
But perhaps the most fascinating part isn't the explanation itself. It's that human brains separated by oceans, languages, and cultures can create such remarkably similar experiences. That says something, not about ghosts, but about ourselves.
Our brains are incredibly creative. In moments of fear, it doesn't just observe reality, it completes it. It fills empty spaces and turns uncertainty into certainty, even if that certainty takes the exact shape of a silent man wearing a black hat.
So is the Hat Man real? That depends on what you mean by real. There's no scientific evidence of a mysterious man traveling the world visiting people at night. But the experience is real, and real is often enough to become a story we tell ourselves again and again.
Music slowly fades into a quiet, suspenseful tone. If you ever wake up and think you see someone standing in the corner of your room, remember this: your brain can tell stories powerful enough to fool your own senses. Sometimes the scariest figure in the darkness isn't hiding outside your window. He's hiding inside the extraordinary machine you call your mind. Thanks for listening to Brain Glitch, where every mystery begins with a story and ends inside your mind. See you in the next glitch. After credits teaser. Next time, you're reading a word you've known your whole life, and suddenly it looks completely unfamiliar. For a few seconds, it's as if you've never seen it before. Your memory hasn't failed. Your brain has glitched. Jamais vu.
I still hear your voice at night, make me feel alright. Jump right back into my heart. Cause we could dance the night away, make me love you through the haze. Ain't no need to be afraid,